Hello everyone and welcome yourselves back to the YouTube channel and here to do a film review today, Wuthering Heights. And let's just watch this evening with my partner and easily, well, it's technically the first new film I've watched of the year, so I can't say it is technically my favorite film of the year so far. The ball's gonna get rolling as like Scream and Hoppers. I haven't watched Bone Temple. There's a list of other films that we're going to get into at some point. But we have watched Wuthering Heights, starring Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie. And if you've never read the book, I've never read the book. It's based on Emily Bronte's book, obviously an author from Haworth. I've been to the place. It's a beautiful place. The story of Wuthering Heights is fantastic, and I believe Jacob and Margot capture this film brilliantly. Like I said, I've never read the book, so the opinions I share in this are based on what I saw from the film, and maybe I'll read the book at some point now I've seen the film and give my thoughts on the channel at some point. But yes, welcome to Adam Reviews Films. Today, as I said, Wuthering Heights. If you enjoy the videos, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, leaving your thoughts, and I will give my rating out of 10 at the end. And obviously, if you like the video, like it. If you don't, also let me know why, and we can improve these videos as we go on. There'll be plenty more movie, TV show reviews, and many other types of videos hitting the channel this year, as obviously we continue to revive the channel, return to the channel. Obviously, there's going to be a mixture of content from all different types of nerdiness, reviews, gaming, and multiple others. Any suggestions for videos, hit down below. And without further ado, let's talk about Wuthering Heights. So, Wuthering Heights, it's set in England. Obviously, because I've never read the books, I did not grasp that the place they were living at as kids, and obviously the place they live at for most of the film, basically. Obviously, there'll be spoilers ahead without me accidentally saying them, but it's spoilers, so again, you've been warned. But yeah, I didn't realize Wuthering Heights was the place they were living with, obviously, the characters of these guys and Heathcliff and Catherine and the dad and the maids, and it's such a good film. I'd argue it's remarkable. It's brilliant. It's one of those films where you could easily say these guys probably will be up for the Oscar. Is it a masterpiece? You could argue maybe, because the cinematography, the way they made it look like the time period it was from, the clothing, the acting, and the chemistry between these two was phenomenal. I think Jacob Elordi has been. He's one of these people who just came out of nowhere. You know, he was in Euphoria. I've watched him in the film has just gone from my head. The one with Barry Keoghan and Saltburn. He's been in Frankenstein recently this year as well. He's in this, and to pull off the British accent so well, and the rugged look, to being so handsome towards the end. This guy is going to be what I feel like to be the man. And if all the talks are true about him possibly being James Bond and being on that list, I really won't be surprised. He's a generational actor, if you want to call him generational talent. He is so. I think I genuinely think Jacob Elordi is going to go far. I think he is a big factor in why this film was so good. You know, I didn't really understand completely. He was so obsessed with the character of Catherine, but because they had been bonded from childhood, it's crazy to see him from literally childhood to him being inherited and taken in to Catherine's family. And then you see the time skip to where they're old, and then obviously he goes and leaves once Catherine decides to marry a rich dude and forget all of her love. But I think storyline wise, it's long winded. It's just it's if you don't like romance, you're not going to enjoy this. It's all my alley in a way because, like I said, you're dealing with two people I've enjoyed watching on the big screen and TV shows. You know, Margot Robbie, known for Harley Quinn and Wolf of Wall Street and countless other things. She's been a fantastic actress, and the chemistry between these two, the rest of the cast did all their roles brilliantly. It was a depressing ending, obviously, with her dying, and him laying with her, and it's that bittersweet thing of she's free from all from everything she's dealing with. You know, her dad died towards the end of the story. The burden of not having to lie to us because she's dead now. You know, the deception of her maid not giving her the letters when it was him trying to send love letters to her, and it's a true love story, and it's fascinating because the build up was like, will they finally get together and then she's obviously with child, and then he pursues Isabella, obviously another character in the story. That's a whole weird section of the story because she decides to be like a dog and let him control every aspect of her just to get back at Catherine. It was it was a brilliantly well crafted story with brilliant actors, a brilliant premise. The settings were gorgeous. I'm intrigued to see how much horse riding practice they did because there was quite a few scenes with that. The accuracy feels perfect in the setting and the weather and the contrast when they were kids under that arch to later when they were under the arch, where he finally tells where they deal with their love and their relationship. Uh, the clothing was on point. The music, there were some great musical points in this, which were fantastic. I can't actually say how long the film was. I think it was only a couple of hours, but it felt like a long time, a longer time. But if you have not seen Wuthering Heights, I would highly recommend it. But these two alone. But if you've read Wuthering Heights, I think knowing Wuthering Heights is good as a book, I think adding these two as the main two, then the rest of the cast, as I said, the production value, the cinematography, the music, everything is perfect. You may disagree because, again, I've not read Wuthering Heights, but this is my thoughts. It's a fantastically well crafted film with brilliant actors and everything else I've mentioned in this, with a really sad ending. The kids at the start who play the younger versions of these two is brilliant. The dad's fantastic. He's got a few comedy moments. Um, and yeah, I'm really excited to see the future of Jacob and Margot, um, and where they go from this. So if you haven't seen Wuthering Heights, go and check it out. It literally came out on the 13th or 14th of February. On the 19th. It's been out less than a couple of weeks. Well, just only about a week in the UK. I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. And the reason why, and I said this to my partner, it's simply this. There was time skips, but they only did one where they had the writing on the screen where it said 1 year later. Even though from the point of where Jacob's character left to the point of where they officially met again, I think it was 5 years. And there's another, there was the only one they didn't need to do is when they went from kids to adults, the different actors. That's different because you knew the time skip. But it would have still been nice to see what the time scale was because the dad looked the exact same as when they were kids, grown ups, but then had a massive age up towards the end where he nearly died, where he died. That was one issue. I think I had another issue, but that was my main pet peeve. Because yes, they spoke about it, but you would have been like, say you missed it, that you switched off for like 2 seconds. You just need it on the screen, basically, like, oh, 5 years has passed. Wow. you know. But overall, 9 out of 10. You could argue it's a 10 out of 10 because it is a brilliant film, and these two are just fantastic, and the chemistry is just brilliant from the get go. And you can see that with the younger actors to these two, and it goes so well. So, like I said, subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the videos. If you have any recommendations for films or TV shows, please let me know down below. Comment your thoughts on the film and your thoughts on the pair as a performance. And obviously, if you like the video, leave a like. I will see you in the future. Obviously, multiple different series, more reviews coming soon. And I hope you all have a great day, morning, or evening, wherever you are. Take care and goodbye.